Not the way I use my fillet knife. What are you doing? I'm doing a really good job of talking this up, aren't I? Should we talk about the knife now instead of philosophy here for a minute? See, now it's gonna happen, and if it does, I can blame you because you said that. Hey everyone, David C. Anderson here coming at you from the Knife Center, and welcome to the New Knives of the Week show. And at the risk of making some of you mad, we're gonna get rid of all of the expensive stuff right off the bat. Well, when I say get rid of, I mean we'll take care of looking at the real expensive stuff right off the bat. We've got...
We'll just make everything after more palatable.
There you go. We've got some high-end production and some custom folders to take a look at from the Custom Knife Show last weekend. And the first is this MachineWise, and the things I'm going to sort of say about this could kind of apply to all of these first several knives. These are absolutely elevated examples of precision engineering and hands-on craftsmanship, etc. You gotta think of it as sort of the equivalent of like an exotic sports car. Because there's gonna be some of you right now already, I know, and I understand where you're coming from, that are typing out, you know, my old Ford truck is gonna get me there just as quick. Maybe not just as quick, but the old farm truck does a great job too. But it's not quite the same thing. And can we just all agree that, you know, we can all have nice things depending on our budget? No? Okay, understood.
Right.
But suffice to say, these things are excellent. If you like to shop based on like value and performance, you know, there's a diminishing degree of returns when you start to get more expensive, but the finer things in life do cost money. Shall we talk about the knife now instead of philosophy here for a minute?
It's in our name.
MachineWise, really happy to be able to have some of their items here at Knife Center. This is just one of the several that are on the site now. This is the Sonora. This is number 1831, in fact. Each one is a little bit different. The price on this is $800, which is actually kind of reasonable when you get into like the super high-end realm of things like this. Fight me in the comments. This is an integral titanium handle. The machining on it is very complex and very satisfying. The blade itself is about 3.35 inches with S90V and a light washed, stone washed finish, full flat grind. Very useful all around drop point. And that's kind of the way that I'm kind of perceiving this knife is, yes, it's elevated. Yes, it's, precise and something special, but it's not so far down like the rabbit hole that it's not something you could use every day. I mean, this thing is an excellent design. The shape works well. Interesting thing that he did here with the tip, the geometry gets a little bit thicker out there. So while that may impede a little bit, like that fine slicing, that does make it a bit tougher at the tip. So you've got your more acute edge angle. Well, I guess the angle is probably about the same, but your thinner edge back here for finer cutting, and when you need to get a little stupid with your knife, you've got a little more rigidity out there, and you've got the rigidity of an integral titanium frame to back it up too. Brass bolster right here. Actually, interesting thing. The packaging here is custom 3D printed for each one, and it's got embedded in it the bit of brass that the bolster. Hang on, here we go. There we go. Was machined out of. That's pretty cool. Anyway, back there in the pivot, you can see the button lock mechanism right there. Action is good. Very, very silky smooth, which is an interesting thing for me to say for a ball bearing based pivot. It has this, like hydraulic feel in a way that most ball bearing pivots don't. Like it's very, very nice and very satisfying. Last but not least, deep carry pocket clip mounted from the tail. It is reversible and it is milled out of a single piece of tie as well. Essentially my favorite style of pocket clip. There you go. That is Sonora 1831. Next up, we've got a few knives from Koenig. We've got mini Ariuses, and the materials here, we have a cherry twill inlay, and this, I believe, is the first time I can recall seeing this material on any knife, and it has a really, really nice color. It kind of sits a little bit in that like dark red to magenta range, and the shine off of it is just really, really nice. Beyond that, it's the same great mini Arius you know and love. Blade is 3 inches, M390 steel in this case, bright washed finished. Got light wash and bright wash. Do we have a dark wash coming up? I don't know. On the signature Arius blade shape, but in the 3-inch scale. The handles are very nice on the large or the small because it's something that's a distinctive shape for one, but it's also something that works with any hand size, thanks to that kind of elliptical, inspired lines to it. Contour on the micarta, sorry, not micarta, contour on the titanium and on the inlay, which is raised up slightly. Just really, really nice. Flipper, really, really excellent action. But if it didn't have excellent action, it wouldn't be a Koenig now, would it? Yeah, really, really cool. $1,110.
So close.
$10, man. Just give that $10 extra.
Just one more dollar.
Yeah. If you want to, you could pay an extra $1. Just call up our customer service, I guess. Not that I'd recommend it, but
We have Adrian Monk on line 1.
But our customer service is always standing by, at least between 9 and 5 Eastern time, because we do have actual people that work here. It's not robots.
Fooled me.
Hey, let's saying nice things about our people.
Say there were not nice robots.
Next up, this is a collaboration with Koenig Knives and Sharkniv Co., the Mini Goblin, also with inlays, in this case, tan micarta, bright washed finish again, on M390 steel, 3.12 inches, $935 here. My favorite detail on this one, however, you don't really see very well on, I guess, any of the pictures on the website. They don't really show this backside angle, and it is really special. Lots of, shapes going on. What's the word?
Geometry.
The opposite of like a chamfer almost. It's not. Anyway, things are happening at the back that are really nice. Nice details to look at. Some milling. We'll just go with that. I'm doing a really good job of talking this up, aren't I? I don't know. The picture is going to have to do the heavy lifting here, or the video B-roll we're going to take, because it's just a really neat thing to behold. Anyway, you've got the same great frame locking lockup, the same great Koenig flipping action, a very acute tip on the blade as well, and it's short enough where you can really bear down, put a lot of force on that tip in piercing and draw cutting strokes especially. Next up, we have got some Holts. One of them has been sold, but it wasn't sold when I first started filming, or when I laid the knives out on this table. But anyway, let's talk about this Morpheus first. As of right now, as when we're filming this one is not sold. So there you go. $1,495 for this one. You got a 3 1/4 inch Vanax blade. So really cool stuff. High performance, perfectly stainless. High performance is essentially the brief with that steel, and we've got a really nice mirror polish on it as well. Titanium handles, ripple machined texture on it, which is quite nice. And instead of a frame lock, you've got an inset liner lock there, which kind of has a little bit more of a luxurious feel, in my opinion. You're able to take the full milling on the backside without having the split for the frame lock to appear there. And you don't have to worry about where you place your fingers when you're flipping the knife either. Oh, man. That's one of those things. Functionally, is this better than a $50 flipper out there? Maybe. Maybe not. Because cheap knives can flip out perfectly fine, but they don't do it quite like this. That's the thing. Oh, my finger got in the way. The finer things in life do cost money. Is it worth it to everyone? No. But if it's worth it to you, it's really worth it. Anyway, really cool knife. Definitely my favorite of Holt's patterns in general. I like a basic, generic, or generally useful drop point profile with a substantial enough handle. And this fulfills the job quite nicely. What else we got? Black Timascus collars around the pivot on each side. A little bit of contrasting color on the backspacer and milled pocket clip, and just untold levels of precision. Next up, I will show it real quickly, this Renegade right here, even though one lucky buyer out there has already purchased it, but we do have, at the time I'm filming this, one other one in stock. But anyway, 3.5 inch M390 blade, real subtle swedge here on the top, almost a perfectly straight backed spine, but it does drop just a little bit at the back. Blue titanium for the handles. I really like this sort of, it almost looks like bark texture that they've given to the that section of titanium there. I wonder if they have a name for that. I don't know if they do or not. I'm not seeing it here at a quick little glance on the website, but it's that cool bark texture. It's just really nice. And let's check out the flipping action on this one, shall we? Sounds a bit different from the Morpheus, but my finger got in the way again because I'm going real gently just to kind of like really experience the bits going on. Super nice. I don't know what more to say. How about something a little more affordable? The Scapegoat Compact from ProTech. Collaboration with Chavez, of course. Several show-exclusive prototypes in MagnaMax steel. MagnaMax steel. Did you hear me? MagnaMax.
Good so far.
The levels are good for hearing.
Oh, just waiting for you to mistakenly call it MagnaCut.
Oh boy, see, now it's going to happen, and if it does, I can blame you because you said that.
I have the graphics slate ready.
MagnaMax is essentially, you could think of it as a spin-off of MagnaCut, grossly simplifying things here, but they've traded some of the toughness that MagnaCut is known for much higher edge retention, even though MagnaCut already does have pretty darn good edge retention. But you're essentially getting something that competes with very high edge retention, non-stainless powder steels in terms of high edge retention and decent toughness, but it throws stainlessness back into the mix as well. Really, really cool steel. Compared to other high edge retention stainlesses, this is going to be a tougher steel, generally speaking. $410, we've got it with this black coating. We also have a few stonewashed ones left at this moment in time. They both are coming with this gray aluminum handle and the black lip mother of pearl firing button. Yeah, sounds like a ProTech. That's such like a cool thing about knives, like, as you're playing with and, experiencing, opening these things, like the character of how they sound. Some more expensive things just sound more expensive. Anyway, check it out. Sub 3-inch blade, straight clip point, MagnaMax, good slicing profile to it in terms of the geometry. Deep carry pocket clip for right side carry. Awesome little everyday carry right there. Let's keep the springy things going, but we'll bring the price tag back to double digits. That'll be good, right? The Rivery Zero. We've got some new options. These are just two of the recent batch we got in stock with some pre-worn handles on the aluminum right there. So some people don't like that sort of thing. It's the pre-ripped jeans sort of aesthetic, but they're kind of cool looking. If you're unfamiliar with the Rivery Zero, it is a manual operating utility knife holder with spring retraction. So it's like a reverse switchblade, which is pretty cool. We've got the serrated blade on this one, which is the file pattern worn black. We've also got the non-serrated here, which is the smooth pattern worn red. Is it smooth pattern? Is that correct? Smooth operator pattern, which is cool. So let me show you the blade change here real quick because it does get a little fiddly. Blade extended. Hold the blade. Pull back on the cover, and then you can slide it all the way forward, making sure to put your thumb on the blade here so the carrier doesn't pop out here. Hold that carrier and then pull this up like so. So there is a magnet holding it in place. Do hold it, because you don't want things to like spring out. You can put it back together if it does, but it's a pain in the butt. Take your new blade, or swap the blade around to the other side, pop it back in, and then you can slide the handle right back on top. And away you go. They're very cool. I keep one on my desk at home. Next up, also, different springiness than usual. The Heretic Hydra V4 in toxic green negative cell shade look right here. $549 with a Magna Cut blade in Tonto profile, 3.6-ish inches long. And this is a single action out the front automatic. So you have to manually retract the blade, kind of the opposite of the way the Rivery works, where it's spring retraction and manual. Anyway, slide the switch off to the side here to reveal the button and fire away. The advantage of this over a double action automatic where click, 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 in, out like so, is it's always under spring tension forward, so nothing's gonna like impede it, and or if something does stop the blade from opening fully, it's not gonna jump the track. As soon as you pull it away, it's gonna continue to extend. Plus you get all the spring power leaning forward, which gives you a lot of power to boot. To retract, slide the cover to the side again, push the button, and rack it. Whoop. And then let go of the button before you do that. They're very cool. And you get a new cell shade option. Yeah, just let that sound, man. Sounds are great. All right, also from Heretic, a pocket fixed blade, the Kobold. We have a new batch of these in stock. These are about $265, American made, Magna Cut blade, steel, 2.625 inches with that straight clip point blade. It's an unguarded edge here at the back, but you do have a docked corner to keep your digits away from touching that sharp edge. Mid-height, saber height flat grind right there. Fairly thin blade stock, so it's not the sliciest it could be, but it's not going to be super wedgy either. It's going to be fairly efficient, I would say. Flat Dark Earth G10 with thumb scallops and a little bit of a fob there to further that fourth finger of grip. Just very agile, nice in the pocket. Comes with a JRE Industries leather sheath with an ulti clip right there. Designed to be carried in the pocket. I said pocket fixed blade at the beginning because you slide it in and then use the ulti clip, show you from that angle, to clamp down, and it's not going anywhere. You can take the knife out of the sheath without the sheath coming with, and you can swap this around for left or right carry, no problem whatsoever. More fixed blades. We've got an RMJ Tactical right here. Coming in $295. This is the Orlando Special. Also in Magna Cut steel. 4.5-inch double-edged blade, so nearly 9 inches of sharpened edge that you would have to go dull with. That you would have to dull before you have to sharpen. Words. What have you. And yeah, G10 handles here with a pretty aggressive texturing going on. No, texturing is the wrong word, but an aggressive pattern on it to make sure you've got plenty of traction, because there's no guard per se on this. It's a fully symmetrical design, so no matter which way you grab it, you're oriented correctly if you're using this for a self-defense type of thing, and it's definitely more that than anything else. But of course, you could certainly use it as a utility-driven blade. Kydex sheath. Comes with a backer plate and the Discrete Carry Concepts clip right here. I think that's Discrete Carry Concepts, right? I always forget. There's another company that makes something like this, and of course we don't have it listed on the site. Doesn't matter too much. What it is a clip that will allow both belt carry as well as inside the waistband carry, or even pocket carry, I suppose, but it's kind of large for that. But yeah, that works. Slip through the belt, you got a J-hook to keep it from coming off unintentionally, or slip that inside the waistband, and this clip would be outside the waistband, holding it in place for better concealment. If you would prefer an even more secure belt carry, these top two holes here are Tech-Lock spacing compatible. So you could pick one of those up, or a CVVT clip. Links for those, we usually leave those down in the description all the time, because they work with all kinds of stuff, so they're always pretty nice. You can check them out there. Next up, we have, finally, some more, one affordable modern folder in today's lineup. That's just the way the cookie crumbles this week in terms of what's new. The Ketuo David Jin designed mini Griffin. Comes in at just under $79. So it's not cheap, but it is, it's the most affordable modern folder on the table right now. 2.91 inches, 14C 28N steel, harpoon pointed tip right there, high flat grind, full flat grind actually. It's hard to tell. No, that's not full. Yeah, never mind. High flat grind. Doesn't extend all the way up here. Probably extends to about where that milled line is right there. White and black G10 on this one. You've got that button actuated compression style. We can't call it a compression lock because that's a Spyderco thing. But that sort of button actuated internal liner lock thing. I don't even want to call it like a top liner lock like some are, because the liner is actually on the bottom side here. And actually, let me pause for a moment while I take a look at this. I'm not sure if it's operating on any sort of like compression style. It might just be a button actuated liner lock. I'm not 100% on that. In any case, it feels super solid, so that's good. And you get that finger safe closing action. You get good flicking detent action, or flipping detent action. You got a front flipper, but I don't do front flippers anymore as a form of protest. You've also got a blade cutout for either thumb opening or reverse flicking. Let's see. Feel in hand. It's kind of a 3.5 finger grip for me. And there's not quite an area to like choke up comfortably. I could kind of bridge this area a little bit. But yeah, it's kind of a more awkward area if you're looking for some choke up space for your finger. It's doable, but not the best at that. Milled pocket clip, which is pretty nice. Sharpened edge, how nice does it feel? Actually, that looks quite nice. It looks very, very well refined and feels very sharp under the fingies as well. Reversible clip. Several colors are available. I don't know what more to say about the mini Griffin. So I will stop and I will move on to the next thing. For a few dollars less than that imported knife, you could actually get this American-made case Crossroads SR. It's not a modern style of lock or modern style of knife. It doesn't have fast action, but it is $76 and it does have premium powder metallurgy steel in the form of S35 VN. So that is pretty darn cool. It's the Sodbuster Jr. in shape, just sort of made with modern modern materials and screw together construction as opposed to pinned construction. Anyway, blade length on these is about 2.8. Full flat grind on the Sodbuster style shape, so you got a lot of belly out there at the tip, nice thin slicing geometry, and a heavy working stone washed finish on this one that's going to look even better as you start to use it. And you've got the edge retention and toughness of S35 to boot. The handles are rich light, rather nice looking. They come with a black liner, and you've got that strong backsprung slip joint style action. No pocket clip, no pocket slip, just slip it in your pocket and carry away. It's going to be pretty kind inside your pocket, I think. Like most of the edges being kind of rounded over the way they are, it should find a nice home in your favorite pair of jeans or whatever you happen to be wearing or not wearing.
Khakis.
We won't go there. Khakis, yeah, that's what I meant. Definitely meant khakis. Yeah, very, very cool. The Crossroads XR series has just been a big, big win from Case for sure. Next up, if you like your slip joints to feel more traditional, the Barren fork jack from RoseCraft. The red jigged bone version of this is going live today, the day we're posting this video. We have a few of these in stock, but I know they have been in high demand, so I don't know how much or how long they will last. We do have one or two of the denim handled versions as well, though. See what's available at the link below, or at the QR code up here. $63 for this version right here. You've got a 2.88 inch 14C 28N steel blade with, it's a riff on classic blade shapes with, I don't know if there's an actual mimic that this is going after or not, but I haven't seen this exact blade shape going on before, even if it's in the same kind of ballpark as a lot of classic slip joints. But I could be wrong. Let me know if this is directly inspired by an old pattern or not, if you're a slip joint aficionado out there. Nice swedge here at the tip, nice belly. Actually, the whole edge is a constant curve. Even back here where it's mostly straight, you do have a little bit of radius, which is just really cool. And it's going to make slices like this just, one, work really well. And something about the feel of that, even if it's just subliminal or subconscious, is going to be quite nice. Anyway, red jig bone, very nice red color, stainless steel bolstered ends, of course. Walk and talk on these is excellent. The quality overall is quite good if you like that nice heavy spring opening, or not really sprung, that heavy opening action that has that nice snap when you close it too. Could do a lot worse than a RoseCraft. They're killing it. Next up, how about a new fillet knife from Hogue, made here in the USA. The Fillet Flex, Jim Brune's design, coming in at $216 for an 8 1/4 inch long blade of Magna cut steel. Very, very thin behind the edge as well. And the name says flex, and it does indeed flex. So this could be, this is a straight up fillet knife with that type of flex, not a stiff, long bladed knife like this. Very, very cool. The handles are Blue Canyon Richlight. They are screwed on to the tang there, but enveloped on each side. That's not necessarily going to do anything from a cleanliness perspective, because fish guts and secretions could still get in there, but at least you can take it apart to clean it. But in terms of comfort, I mean, you can be comfortable without doing that too, but it does feel nice. I wonder if that helps them save, get a couple extra knives cut out of a piece of Magna Cut when they cut it out, because they could go a little narrower under here. It's not like you need a full tang fillet knife after all.
Maybe you don't.
Well, not the way I use my fillet knife. What are you doing?
Fighting some tough cows.
All right. I don't know what to do with that.
In hindsight, those might have been buffalo.
Comes with a plastic style sheath. I say plastic, glass reinforced nylon with some cutouts in the side. That's going to help with drainage and keeping. If you put it away wet, it's going to be less likely to have moisture stick onto the surface of the blade, and which even on a highly stainless steel like Magna Cut could eventually cause some corrosion if it's left that way for too long. And you've got a couple pass-throughs here, either for a belt or webbing strap or something like that, so that it will be secure. Last but not least, we have 3 items here from OLFA Works, and they are new to the KnifeCenter here, and I'm happy to have them, because this right here especially, this retractable saw, is something I've heard people talking about for years, but I've never experienced one. It's about $30. You've got a 4-inch saw blade, fine-toothed SK85 steel, and a very comfortable handle with which to wield that saw. You could even choke back here at the back for usage like so, giving yourself a little bit of extra reach, and just feeling those teeth and looking at how precisely they're ground. Like I said, I haven't tested them personally, but it certainly looks like it's going to work really well, and they do come highly recommended by people that I trust. So that's pretty cool. I'm glad they're here. It's cool. $30. You can also get replacement packs of blades. Let's see, for about $15. I guess for just a single. I guess it's half the knife anyway. 2 colors are available. You've got this. I was supposed to say OD green. This is not OD green. You have got
Cappuccino.
What's the name? Sand brown. That's the best they could do. Not very evocative.
I don't put sand in my cappuccinos.
But OD green is also available. In fact, here is that OD green color with this for $22, which is not a saw blade, which they call it a micro serrated utility blade, which is interesting. So yeah, the edges differs a little bit from those snap-off blade styles that you could get because it has this, I guess micro serration. I don't know what else to really call it apart from that. The edge itself is mostly straight. You just get a little hint of waviness to it. Actually, I could see a little bit reflecting there that maybe it is micro serrated. Interesting. Well, one advantage that would grant you over a typical like snap-off utility style blade as opposed to a snap-on utility style blade or a snap-on, snap-off style utility blade. I digress.
Snappy.
The advantage that this could get you over those is those are, plain edge, non-serrated. Anything you're cutting that would be fibrous, like, rope, cordage, burlapped sacks, what else? Feed bags, canvas, anything like fabrics, that micro serration should help it grab and slice or rip through a little bit differently, potentially even nicer or better than a plain edge, a plain edge would do. Anyway, $22, a 3-pack of replacement blades for this runs about $10. The steel is SK S81 carbon steel. You could sharpen it, certainly, but then you're back to a plain edge, essentially, because the serrations that I'm seeing here are so small that one sharpening would pretty much blow through them right there. But you certainly could do. I'm the guy that sharpens by hand these little utility blades because I don't want to buy more, even though I have plenty of sharp unused ones there. I don't know why I insist on sharpening my utility knives. Must be something wrong with me. Last but not least, amongst the last but not least section here that we're talking about from OLFA Works for $19.99, the retractable utility camp knife. 2.4-inch blade here. They do say it has a cap lifter, but I wouldn't use it as such. If you tried to, this is just kind of punch through the top of the cap. You might still get it off, but it's going to be kind of annoying right there. The edge itself is like pseudo chisel ground. You do have a grind from each side, but the secondary bevel is mostly on one side with just a hint of a micro bevel on the back. So I would see this, as they say utility camp, I would see this as more of a like a workshop knife. This would be a decent marking knife along a metal straight edge, or just small utility user. You've got basically 2 big serrations here at the back. You could kind of rip through some things to get a cut started. You could also use these for wire stripping, thanks to that radius that's going on right there. The handle is steel. You can get it in OD green or sand brown, and a brass slider knob right there. These also do have replaceable blades that run about $12 with a high carbon stainless steel. Sorry, I can't be more specific than that because I don't have any other information than that. It is nice and slim. Would live in a tool bag, I think, quite comfortably. That's all we got for today. If you're looking for some more budget-oriented stuff, hopefully next week there will be some more of that. These lists are kind of determined by what is genuinely new each given week as we're bringing the stuff out. We'll find a good budget video to link in the description, I guess.
Probably.
We'll do that for you guys. Let me know what you thought of the knives here on the table. And if you want to get your hands on them, we will leave links to everything we can in the description. Sorry, like I said, this particular one is out. We might just have to link to the Holt Knives brand page. You can see what's in stock right there. But anyway, those links will take you to the Knife Center. Don't forget about our long-running Knife Rewards program while you're there, or our new payment options at checkout, including Sezzle, if you want to break things down into payments. I'm David C. Anderson from the Knife Center. That's Thomas behind the camera. We're signing off. See you next time.